and welcome back. This is going to be a pick a card reading about what has just shifted and what's about to happen because of that. So go ahead and pick pile 1, which is this glass of juice, or pile 2, this tea. So we'll start with pile 1, the juice. Let's see what has just shifted for you. And what does that mean? What does that look like in your life? You've shifted away from something. I'm seeing like a ship, and they change the direction of the course they're on. So they're no longer headed for their original destination. They've changed the course and they're headed somewhere else because they got new information. Like maybe it was about the weather or whatever this information was. It was like, oh, actually, let's not go that way. There's a better way. Or maybe they got the information that the way they were headed, it wasn't actually where they thought it was going to be, or it didn't have what they thought it would have, and so they've changed course. However it is, you've changed direction in life, and that is what has shifted. You created the shift, and it's like you had been feeling this buildup of something about to happen. You could feel it, and you didn't know the whole time that that thing that was about to happen, you were the one who was going to make it happen. And that's what you've done. And it feels like you chose yourself, and that's what changed the course. Like you may have thought before that you were choosing yourself, or that you were choosing something you wanted or that you desired, but actually it was still coming from an unhealed place. And so it wasn't actually what you truly wanted. Maybe it was a version of what you wanted or similar to what you wanted, but it wasn't the actual thing, but you were still gonna settle for it. And I'm feeling it didn't feel like settling. You didn't think you were settling, because if you did, you probably wouldn't have, because that's not what you're trying to do. But it's like, that's why something happened that kind of changed your mind about it, so that you wouldn't end up settling and thinking, oh, this is what's supposed to be. If that resonates. So if it does, this is definitely your pile. But it's like I'm seeing someone, when you wet your fingers and you put out the flame of a candle like that, like you just pinch the flame and it goes out. Someone not burned out, but someone put out a flame, ended something, changed course. And 8 of Cups reversed, this is more confirmation that you just simply stopped giving your energy to this area, and so it ceased to exist in your experience anymore, because anything can only exist when you're giving it your own energy. 5 of Cups. So whatever this was, it was really important that you leave it behind, because it was always going to be throwing you off and just messing with whatever you were trying to do. It doesn't mean you wouldn't get your goals, but maybe it would first of all be a lot harder to get to them, and it would also just not be what you expected. So it was really important, in order to get what you wanted and to have it turn out the way you wanted, it was important to let go of whatever this was. And this feels like something that you were waiting on, but you may have just felt like it was just a forever wait. And it's not the type of wait where you feel excited, you feel anticipation, and it's a little bit hard because you're so excited, but you can calm yourself down and be present, and it's a good feeling though. That's not what it was. And that's the true feeling of waiting. If you feel anything else and you think you're supposed to be in that feeling, you're not. You've just convinced yourself of that. Let's see what else. How is everything changing right now? Queen of Cups. So I just feel like you have the way that the ocean reaches all areas of the world, because water makes up pretty much everything. Our bodies, the clouds, the ocean, so many things are made of water or have water in them. And water, that's how your energy is going to be. It's like you're moving through everything, a part of everything. There's nowhere you can't go. Water can find the tiniest little spaces to fit in. Like you can be everywhere. You have access to everything now. That's what it is. And the same way how sound and electricity and certain things can travel faster through water. It's like this connectedness, this thicker than, okay, whatever the energy that you were tapped into spiritually, it's become thicker, like more present physically, more tangible, or like it's merging into the physical more. So this could even mean you could be having more physical spiritual experiences, or maybe a lot of what you experienced was more in your mind or internal, but now you're experiencing it more physically, or maybe you're seeing certain things, but that doesn't have to be. That's just a side message. So with the Queen of Cups and the Empress, you're definitely in your feminine energy, in your receptive energy. Like I said, everything's flowing to you, everything, you have access to everything, nothing's cut off. This is like the ultimate abundance. And it's all because you decided to stop being in an energy that didn't even feel good to be in. And you decided to just move forward and be open to anything. You opened your heart to any possibility, any chance. You stopped telling a certain specific story. You stopped limiting yourself and what you could achieve in your whole life. And then also the Queen of Pentacles. So this is just more confirmation of your abundance right now, and the fact that the root of it is all you ever needed was yourself and your connection to spirit. You never needed another person, place, or thing. You never needed anything. You always had and have that connection to source, and it's not something you can lose or can be taken from you, or that anybody else could ever interfere with, unless you were to allow that. But it's like you are in control of that connection. It's completely up to you, and it's protected. So it's all you ever need. Like, you're now approaching life in a way where none of you, there's no part that it's needy or codependent. You don't need anything from anyone anymore, because you have everything you need. And you know that whatever you will need in the future, you're going to have, you're going to get, because you know the source, you understand the source that it all comes from. You understand when you receive something, you understand where it actually came from. And you're seeing the connectedness in all of that, and understanding your role is to just receive and to be in this abundant energy that is a perfect magnet, and keeping your channels clear so that everything can flow to you effortlessly. So what else, if anything else wants to come up? I feel like this might be all, but let's just see. Okay, let's try from here. Anything else for pile 1? This feels like, I don't want to say a green light go, because that's very much like stopped and then speeding up. But this feels like a gate being opened for you, or like a curtain being pulled back, or a door of a limo or a fancy car being opened for you. And it's like you're not immediately running. You're just, you know, gently, glamorously stepping out, walking through. There's not a sense of rush of like stop and go. It's just more one fluid movement picking up now. You were on a pause, and now the gate is, or it's, I'm also seeing a red carpet and a red rope, and someone like opening the rope and you're going through. So again, it's not like you're not one of the people who are like rushing to get in, pushing others down like a mob. You're just the one who's just gently walking through, being allowed through. You're not, it's very much allowing, like the doors are being opened for you. You just have to walk through. And that's why you're not in a rushed energy, and you've been held back until you got into this peaceful energy where you just simply weren't in a rush anymore. And this is what it's like to not be in a fight or flight type of mentality. This is what it's like to feel actually safe. And again, this all goes back to the fact that what you're grounded to is spirit, and that's something that now that's your comfort zone. That's your new comfort zone. That's your new sense of safety. So you're eternally safe and comfortable on that level, no matter what happens in the physical, because that connection transcends anything you could physically experience. And that's just something you understand and accept now. So thank you so much, Pile 1, for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Okay, I just spilled Pile 2, so this, I don't know if this is going to be a messy reading for Pile 2. It looks like coffee, but it's tea. So it's like a high caffeine tea. I forget what it's called. I don't even know what I'm drinking. Okay. Pile 2. What has just shifted for you? And what is that going to look like? Okay. Pile 2. The moon and the 5 of Wands. I always see that one card as the 6 of Wands. This is, okay, this feels like something that on one side of it, when you were having to face it, it may have felt really overwhelming, or it may have felt like it was going to be something that was scary or difficult to do. Just 1 second. Okay, sorry. Had to take something off the stove. Anyway, but I feel like anything that happens during a reading, there's no actual interruptions, because I feel like it's all a sign or meant to be somehow. Like maybe somebody was watching and cooking something and they just took something off the stove, and it's just an extra confirmation. So in that message right now, and this could be something you're already doing, or if you're not, this is an advice that it could be helpful right now, to take anything that happens, even things that seem like a coincidence or just even something like an inconvenience, and believe that it's working for you and it's all part of the plan, and nothing's an accident or a coincidence or a mistake. It's all down to the last tiny detail. It's all very specific and meant to be. So 4 of Swords, 8 of Cups reversed, 2 of Cups reversed. Wait, I just put the same cards. Sorry, those were the exact same cards from the last. I forgot to shuffle them in. Okay, I told you this is going to be a messier reading, but that's the energy of it, so I'm just going to go with it. Three of Pentacles. Okay, so I was saying you faced something that felt very overwhelming, but it was like once you faced it, or once you got on the other side of it, it's like, oh, like you're totally desensitized isn't the word, but that's what came to me. It's like, it's just, you're feeling like whatever it was, it could never scare you again. It's kind of like you saw the truth of it. I'm seeing in the Wizard of Oz when they pull back the curtain and they see the wizard, and it's actually just that guy or whoever. And it's like, oh, like this whole time it seemed like this big scary thing, and then you find out it's not. It's that type of energy. So but it was like you had to face it and go through what you did in the way you did, so that you could learn this. Like it had to be done in the way it was. So however it happened, however the situation was that caused you to face this, it was supposed to happen exactly like it did. So if it was really difficult or challenging or just confusing, just know it was all meant to be, okay? There's still this energy of like, nothing's a coincidence, nothing's an accident, nothing's by mistake, especially when you're really following spirit, like, because you can sometimes get in your own way, and other people can interfere more, but when you're on this path, when you're in a really strong alignment and your energy is very powerful, it's like you're so aligned, nothing, even a little bird flying by is by design. Just understand that right now. So you're being encouraged to not be defensive right now, to try and be, you don't have to be completely in your feminine energy. Maybe there's a need for you to be somewhat in a masculine energy also. And if you do, if that is what you're being guided to do or what you have to do right now, it's okay to just be balanced. Because I was going to say be in your feminine energy, but I feel like there's a strong part of you, the masculine energy part of you, and it's like it needs to be out right now. So I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to get you out of that energy if that's what you need to be in. But at the same time, make sure if you are having to be in your masculine energy, make sure you're being as equally in your feminine energy. Six of Pentacles, reverse. So right now, so for example, if you have to work a lot right now, make sure when you get off work, you're taking the extra time to like really care for yourself. If you're too tired to cook for yourself, order food. If you like make yourself a nice bath or a nice shower, don't try to do extra things, just do the bare minimum, because if you're already like really consumed in one area, don't try to do a bunch of other projects and a bunch of other things. Like do the things that are top priority and let everything else wait. Don't try to do all of this week's to-do list today. Like just take it one day at a time, which really means don't be focusing on what you have to do tomorrow, today. Only worry about today. And even more specifically, in the day, try to only worry about the moment you're in. So in the morning, don't be worried about what you're going to be doing that night. Just focus on what you're doing that morning in that moment. So what shifted for you is getting over this fear and realizing it's not even that scary. Or maybe that's one way to look at it. Another way is you've just grown up and matured. And so in the same way that a kid would be scared of something that maybe an adult wouldn't be, it's like you've just grown up. You've grown in some way that, this is bothering me. You've grown in some way that you just are unaffected now by something that used to really, really affect you or really scare you. And I feel like you knew, even when you were afraid of this, you knew that it was like there's nothing to actually fear. You knew it was not a real danger, but you just felt it anyway. So you knew you had to face it because you were never going to get over that feeling. Okay, let's see a little bit more about what's coming up for you now that this shift has happened. I feel like first of all is just a general sense of peace. Like you're not going to feel so defensive or so, and you're also being encouraged to like lean into this more comfortable energy where you're feeling supported, you're feeling like you're getting what you're putting in, you're getting back what you're putting in, and you just feel comfortable and safe. Like lean more into that energy as much as you can right now. And it's also you're just gonna feel like you can actually breathe. Like everything, it's not like it'll be moving slower, but you'll feel not slow, but I can't think of the right word, just extremely calm to the point of being like, you're just not in this intense, urgent energy anymore. Nothing seems so urgent. Like everything, even the smallest little thing used to seem urgent, and now nothing really does anymore. Anything else about what's coming up now that this has shifted? So this is more about just getting out of this defensive energy, out of this competitive me versus the world, feeling like people are attacking you or trying to come after you or just thinking badly of you. Getting out of this separation energy and connecting more into oneness, which is going to bring that sense of peace, because when you don't feel like you have to fight and compete and you feel just connected like family or like that oneness, it's like you can rest and you can just focus on other things than protecting yourself, because that takes all your effort and your energy and your mental energy and your thoughts. When you have to protect yourself, everything is filtered around that lens of self-protection, and it really limits you, and you're not going to be limited anymore since you faced whatever this was. I feel like whatever it was so strong too, because it was something that was passed down. Like, it didn't start with you, it's been going through your family line, and it could have been an energy that different people in your family really tried their best to defeat or to overcome, but they couldn't, and then you were actually the one to finally do it. So that's also why, even though logically it was like, I shouldn't be afraid, you still felt that really intense fear, and that feeling, that's what held back all the generations before you. So I'm hearing, be prepared to for your ancestors to be reaching out to you. They're not wanting to come through right now because they're wanting to say that they want to come through and communicate with you like in their own way. They don't really want to come through another person. Like, even if you're like, I don't know how to communicate with spirits, how am I gonna know? They're gonna find some way to communicate with you, or to send you a sign, or to send you a message. That it's just, okay, I'm getting that for some of you. You could have heard rumors or heard stories about certain passed on, like, family members or loved ones, and they want to tell you the truth. They want to tell you their version or their side, and not just what you've heard about them. So, because maybe it's not accurate, or maybe it's very like in that person's perspective. So there's just this energy of they want to connect with you themselves and not go through someone else. So you can expect to get some type of signs or communication. Okay, and then last ones, Queen of Swords, Page of Cups. Okay, this is funny because I feel like you're going to be in this energy where you're feeling confident, but in a, like, I don't really need anyone, like, I'm fine, I can handle this. Having just faced this fear, you have this confidence, like, I just don't need, like, I'm just fine, I'm good. And it's like you're in this Queen of Swords energy of just being very independent, but not in a defensive way, like, get away, I don't need anyone. It's more just like, I'm good on my own. And for some reason, it always happens this way. This is what's gonna attract a lot of, I heard suitors, a lot of people to you, a lot of people who are just interested in your energy and getting to know you. So whether you're a King or Queen of Swords, and you're just, I mean, not gender specific, but just expect to get attention and admiration from whoever, I don't know, it's like, this could even be, I'm also getting like you're going to be influencing the youth, like you're going to be influencing like the next generation. Something about your energy is going to be, you're going to be like that one they want to look up to and be like, and they grow up watching and being like very influenced by. And you're going to help show them like this whole new way of being, of trusting yourself. That's what you're going to help show them, because that's what really the world needs. Is it's filled with so much doubt and so much looking outside yourself for the answers and for understanding about your own self. And you're going to really show how to have that trust in your intuition and just a completely new way of being. But I am getting that you're going to be attracting people who, they just want to be in your life. They want to be around you. some people it's going to be romantically, but it's like you don't even really care anymore because you just don't need it. Like whatever before you wanted a relationship for, or you wanted just people to be interested or to just have options, it's like it doesn't matter anymore, because whatever that was that the reason why you wanted that, you've overcome that, or that was part of this fear or something. It was attached to this fear. So when you overcame this fear, it's like you're unaffected by other people. That's what I'm also getting. Okay, so you're not going to be attached to other people's reaction or response to you. You're going to be like, my only job is to do me and like be myself, and however people interpret that, it's not my job or my business at all. And you're going to really let people have their own opinion of you and not try to control how you're perceived, which is actually going to help people see you better than when you were trying to. It's like you were trying so hard to show who you really were, and showing so hard to be trying, how am I trying to say this? Trying so hard to be understood, but it actually confused people more. But now when you're not going to be caring anymore, it's like now people are actually going to see you. Like they're actually going to get clarity. But you don't even care anymore because you don't need that. You don't need people to get you, but they will start to. So I feel like this could be a lot longer reading, but it's already longer than pile 1. So I'm going to stop it here, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.